Anyway, as we were talking about it, Elon Musk, he's a both passionate believer and intense critic of the service, which is exactly what we need on Twitter and in the boardroom to make us stronger in the long term. Welcome, Elon. So I just want to say a couple things here, okay? I think Elon Musk becoming a major shareholder on Twitter, like the largest shareholder of Twitter, and then immediately being placed on the board is awesome. Why is it awesome? I mean, it's devastating, it's terrifying, but why is it awesome? It shows, once again, how the system works. That a board of directors is not actually, working on making the product better, making it better for consumers in any meaningful capacity. It's pay to win. It's pay to play and it's pay to win. You, as the average citizen, have no power. You could literally make 1 million change.org petitions, and you would never be able to get a fraction of the power that a billionaire has. And it's wonderful to see. Like, he has no qualifications for it whatsoever. He's not even a good poster. And that's it. So my hope, however, is that he'll at least get Trump unbanned. So for people who are saying, like, stop using Twitter, it's a dangerous platform or whatever, like, there's nothing you can do. It is literally the town hall, you know? Cat's out of the bag. People are using Twitter. That's it. You know, there's no alternative there. Why is this terrifying? It should benefit you because Twitter has a problem with censoring free speech. Elon made it clear that he will solve it. Dude, are you kidding me? We're talking about a guy who literally called someone a pedophile. Then the guy sued him. He had no evidence whatsoever and was able to defeat the diver in the marketplace of ideas, or not the marketplace of ideas. He was able to literally win the lawsuit by just showing up and testifying in court. That's how powerful Elon Musk is. He's not he's not a fan of free speech. What are you, stupid? He's literally a fucking billionaire, dude. No billionaire is a fan of free speech. You mad, bro? I mean, guys, you can get mad at me all you want. Okay, nice straw man, buddy. What nice straw man, buddy? What is happening? Why are you guys milking Elon Musk's cock right now in my chat? Like, what the fuck is happening? This dude literally manipulated shares by posting on Twitter. This dude is not like, he's not like an actual fucking fan of free speech in any meaningful capacity. No American or Westoid is like legitimately a fucking fan of free speech. There's like very few intellectually honest free speech defenders. You know what I mean? Most of them are just saying like free speech is when I defend values that I care about, like hate speech and being able to say hate speech without repercussions. And free speech is not about like, whistleblowers, people who are leaking government secrets. Free speech is not about like the actual things that free speech is supposed to protect, which is like those who are challenging the pre-existing hierarchy, the pre-existing hierarchy that is dominating all of our lives. One that, of course, is capitalist, and all of our institutions are, designed to protect that. The SEC filing showed that he bought it. Then he tweeted, "I don't like Elon, by the way." Yeah, no, I know. I guess people don't realize that acquiring a media outlet influence or outright ownership is billionaire playbook 101. Yeah, like Jeff Bezos buys Washington Post and you guys are understandably upset about that. But when Elon fucking becomes like the plurality shareholder of fucking Twitter, you're not seeing that as damaging and as scary. What the fuck? Just say you stand certain billionaires and others and hate others, I guess. Yeah, I mean, free speech, despite calling himself a free speech absolutist, Elon Musk has a history of retaliation against employees and critics. Yeah, free speech absolutist. Try to say some shit. Try to be a Tesla owner who like fucking, talks about its product and how you don't like it. Free speech absolutist, dude. He's a huge libertarian. That's why, right to repair, right? It's just like you're a dumb lizard-brained weirdo fucking got sucked into the memes, like the 8-year-old memes, and now you think that's actually great. Like you think he's cool because he posts memes.
There's a possibility you are not, because so many conservatives have looked at the anti-conservative bias that Twitter has exhibited very clearly over the last couple of years, and they go, you know what, Twitter hates me. I'm not going to get on it. But you might want to change your mind if something happens, because yesterday on this show we announced that
Did Musk ever come out against right to repair? I feel like it's another straw man, bruv, but I could be wrong. I mean, Doesn't have to publicly come out against it.
Elon Musk bought a little less than 10% of Twitter. And so now the question is, will Elon Musk make it more mainstream, more down the middle, less to the left?
Well, he tweeted out, he said, do you want an edit button? And then he attached yes or no, his own little survey here. And I would say conservatives would say no, we don't want edit buttons, we don't want to be censored. But Twitter is known for censoring.
I'm no Elon Musk fan, but there are 20 better arguments in a failed libel suit, bruv. Dog, the fuck do you mean? He literally called someone a pedophile without any information whatsoever and was able to use the, I was just kidding, in South Africa, pedophile is actually just a thing that we say to people, by the way, argument, to literally get out of a fucking lawsuit that would have been open and shut in any other court system that wasn't fucking completely created to suck off corporate teat. Okay? What the fuck do you mean? It's also a direct conversation about free speech. If you don't consider that to be a good argument, by the way, oh my God, it's not a good argument, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. When Elon Musk starts banning people that are dissidents or people talking shit about Tesla, maybe then we can have a conversation about whether it was weak sauce or not. Oh. Lol, Jeff Bezos didn't come out against unions. You straw man all the time. Wait, what? Wait, we got to find that guy. What is happening, dude? I love these the new people that are propping up. It's different. Jeff Bezos has writers at Washington Washington Post work for him. Elon doesn't have the people tweeting work for him. Yeah, but he still maintains fuckload of control over it. Hold on, I got to find the other guy who said that was a joke, right? There's no shot. Yeah, Bezos is a union guy through and through. Least insane chatter. I love these motherfuckers, dude. Jeff Bezos didn't come out against unions. You are straw man all the time. What the fuck? Yo, what is going on right now in the chat, dude? Yeah, of course, he's not going to fucking say, like, I despise unions and that they should be executed. He's just going to say, oh, every company has the right to, like, every worker has the right to make decisions for themselves. But here at Amazon, we try to combat that by, providing the best opportunities for our family as best as possible. And it's quite sad that these workers here decided to try to use a outside negotiator, a third party, an outsider that came into our family and destroyed the dynamic that we had. That's, by the way, that's almost verbatim what Amazon has said or Jeff Bezos has said about unions. That is as anti-union as you can get, while simultaneously spending $4.3 million to destroy the Bessemer, Alabama, and the fucking Staten Island unionization efforts by hiring a Democratic polling company, by the way. So, also, not only that, but you can't even use the word union now on its new worker chat app. They banned terms including living wage, slave labor, harassment, and restrooms. But he didn't personally say he hated unions, you fucking straw man guy, you fucking idiot. Oh, I defeated you in the marketplace of ideas, dude. Why is it that that fucking weirdos in the chat that routinely try to, like, defend intellectual integrity and intellectual honesty in the marketplace of ideas by being the biggest debate lord of all time, unironically are just, like, defending the stupidest positions? Like, you are just defending being wrong. That's all you're doing. You're trying to semantically engage in an argument where you are just straight up wrong. They DM me saying it was a joke. Okay, you can unban them then. Anyway, how are companies allowed to censor their employees? It's so fucked up. Dude, you don't understand. It's to defend the integrity of free speech that they're doing that. You would want the company to actually ban swastikas, right? Hasan, owned.
Certain stories, and they're known for shutting you down if you're a conservative. So I'm sure this really freaked Twitter out.
Well,
right?
the whole idea behind an edit button, and Jack Dorsey has said as recently as 2020, he said we'll never have that, is that if you do a tweet and you misspell something, you can't fix it.
Like on Instagram, you can edit your post after
exactly.
you post it.
But
yeah, on Twitter, it's done.
Twitter made very sure that you couldn't do that. In fact, the CEO, after he tweeted that out, said, He went on Twitter and he said, the consequences of this poll will be very important. Please vote carefully.
Would you remember that's exactly what Elon Musk said about a week ago.
Great idea, by the way, to run a Twitter poll, like one of the most easily botted. Like you don't even need incredible amounts of knowledge to be able to bot a fucking Twitter poll. Awesome.
When he tweeted,
bet Elon. Hey, guess what? Elon doesn't need an edit button because he could just go to court if he's sued for libel and justifiably and understandably sued for libel, and he could just say, "Lol, I was just kidding," and get away with it. So.
Feel like this is a place where free speech is stifled, and it was a 70-30, 70% of people who answered his poll said that it was, and he said, please answer carefully, this poll is important. Turns out shortly after that, he went and bought the largest stake in Twitter.
He owns 9.2%. It's worth $3.5 billion now, and then Twitter stock surged 30% because of this. You know, he's an inventor, and he recognizes that free speech is under assault, and he put his money where his mouth is. And he has enough money to take over this platform.
Dude, I love Fox News. I love Fox News who are like, there are bad billionaires and good billionaires. Bad billionaires are the ones that we don't like. Those are pedophiles. Good billionaires, on the other hand, are the billionaires that we do like. Those are good. They're intellectually honest and defenders of free speech. How do you not realize, how do you not recognize that these are literally all demigods? They are. They are basically demigods. They have the power of deities, okay? All of our institutions are defending them for the most part. Your arguments against fucking Jeff Bezos just revolve around, Jeff Bezos being like, I guess, pro-gay or something. Not that it fucking matters. It's wild. It is actually fucking wild. What is this? I can't even see this because the fucking account has, once again, fucking blocked me. Mark Anderson, whoever the fuck this is. You were on an anti-America block list? I think it's because of that. That's hilarious. Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? I mean, I am anti-America. You guys are fucking cucks if you're pro-America, dude. You have to relentlessly fucking criticize your own government. It's like one of the main points of like the theoretical democratic utopia that we potentially live in, okay? And motherfuckers get butthurt about that.
And I don't see him as someone who would want to censor. So I'm sure a lot of people are worried about this. But the question is, do you want these platforms that offer free speech? And even if that means it's speech you don't like. But he's been a patriot. Don't you? I mean, he owns this electric car company. All the left should love him, and they don't, because he's actually producing something that they're in favor of. These electric.
Wait, what? First of all, I mean, you're just showcasing it. Like, it's not just about producing something that like the left wants. Yeah, I am theoretically in favor of government subsidies going towards renewable energy initiatives, okay? But the problem in that situation is that they also need to have regular labor union standards, allow unionization to occur, have safety measures, not get sued into fucking oblivion for racial discrimination in the workplace. I don't know. There's like a lot of stuff there that's really fucking annoying. Not only that, but also pay a larger percentage of your fucking yearly revenue growth in taxes in the same way that the average American citizen does. I don't think that's a ridiculous expectation.
Electric cars to get us away from oil and gas independence.
And where did he move?
Or dependency.
Where did he move the company? He moved it to Texas.
Texas, yep.
Right. But and he was so brave. He said that extraordinary times.
He did pay taxes on Mega Law. I know he did, okay? Especially this past year. Elon Musk simps. I know, okay? This is the wealthiest person on the fucking planet. Obviously, I'm very familiar with what he does and doesn't do. Like deliver the Roadster or deliver the pickup truck or deliver anything really that he has claimed he was going to deliver over the course of the years, with the exception of like the Teslas that he has. You don't make $1,000 million without working super duper hard and being honest and grassroots. Yeah, exactly. Most of the arguments that are in defense of Elon Musk unironically revolve around this like, designated marketing campaign that he has created where, people think he's like fucking Tony Stark. That's it. You like literally think he's like a Marvel superhero, Tony Stark. He like built Teslas on his own. He like made all of that.
Call for extraordinary measures. We need to be producing more oil and gas, even though that's going to hurt his bottom line. He was a patriot, saying our gas prices have gone so high, people can't afford electric cars yet. We don't have enough of them yet. So in the meantime, we need to produce more oil and gas.
Well, he's been a critic of Joe Biden's. He moved.
There was a pandemic that destroyed the economy, and you're upset about not delivering new cars. Wait, new cars? Are you fucking stupid? Was the Roadster pre-pandemic or post-pandemic? Yeah, remember when Elon Musk started off by saying he was going to deliver a Roadster or do battery hot swaps, which, like, of course, never came to fruition. They moved on. Or said that he was going to universalize the supercharger stations, and none of that ever came to fruition with the exception of Norway testing it out, only because European countries have at least some level of consumer protection. Remember when all of that fucking happened? And like that all happened, of course, during the pandemic. It's wild. It's wild. Look, Elon Musk is, just like every other incredibly successful businessman in the United States of America, a con man. And when you're really, really good at being a con man, you can get to a level of legitimacy where you are no longer considered a con man and you are now considered a titan of industry. That's how it works. If you stay at the lower levels and you're just fucking doing like MLM schemes or whatever the fuck, then you're just a con man. If you're fucking over other people, you're just a con man. When you get to a certain level of legitimacy and you have an entire fucking army of lawyers and other people that you've hired underneath you, then you're no longer a con man, you're a business titan.
To Texas because he does not like all the red tape of California and the high taxes, and there are no state taxes there as well. You know what? The reaction from Republicans was immediate. A number of Republicans.
It's also fucking additionally hilarious that the government subsidies have kept, or the credit swap, or the energy swap credits that have kept his company afloat in times where he literally was insolvent, okay? Like straight up on the verge of bankruptcy, when he was not delivering any fucking cars whatsoever, when he just kept lying and not delivering shit. He changed it up real fucking quick. What, $5 billion in subsidies so far? And I don't even have a problem with subsidizing renewable energy initiatives. It's just fucking wild that the guy who built every single industry that he has done, every single fucking vertical that he has targeted, is reliant on government subsidies. Every single one. SpaceX is basically outsourcing NASA, okay? Privatizing NASA research, built on the bare bones of NASA, built on fucking scientists that work at JPL. That's one. The fucking solar panel business, again, built on subsidies, completely and entirely built on subsidies, of massive failure regardless. Same with fucking Tesla. That is how he has done everything. Solar City, yeah. Every single fucking initiative that he has started has relied on the government faucet. And normally I don't have a problem with that unless you are literally also giving back, recognizing that this is important, doing a better job protecting your fucking workers. People saying, what about PayPal? Like the one fucking instance where he was also aligned with a fuckload of other like actually smart individuals is the one instance where, like, yeah, it was successful. PayPal was good. Okay, there you go. Not reliant on government funding. You got me on that one. Except for PayPal, which he didn't create or conceive, but loved taking credit for. He bought majority shares in Tesla when it was in early production, kicked out founding members out after acquiring majority shares. Looks like he's going to do the same with Twitter. And I don't think he's going to be able to do the same with Twitter, but we'll see. Dude, he was at Stanford, though. Bat chest. He never even graduated from Stanford, I don't think. I think he just takes credit for it. Did he even graduate from Stanford? I don't think he did. Not that it fucking matters. I mean, who cares? I know dumbasses that also went to Stanford. So he's just good at marketing. And you're just sucking on it. You're literally like, oh man, that's fire. The marketing totally works. Bat chest. I love it.
Including Representative Lance Gooden, says he hopes Musk will protect free speech. He said the fact that the world's richest man chose to buy outright Twitter rather than develop a new platform shows Twitter's monopoly power. I'm glad Elon Musk is stepping up to protect free speech, but Congress must act to put the rest of big tech in their place.
I'm no Elon fanboy, but SpaceX is legit. The fact that the government uses it takes nothing from that. No, you're misunderstanding. I literally use that as an example of like what I like. Tesla fundamentally is something that I'm in favor of. Okay, Solar City is fundamentally something that I'm in favor of. I am in favor of changing our money faucet, this government that is a gigantic fucking money cannon, switching it over from oil and gas, oil, fuel subsidies over to the renewable energy sector. So I'm in favor of that. So you're losing someone like me who's literally in favor of that. Like, that's awesome. That's what I want. That's the shit I do like. I want R&D. I want more energy efficiency. I want to be able to fund and find the best kind of fucking battery power on the EV side, like, and just like renewable energy side in general. It's sick. I'm totally on board with that. Except Elon Musk just basically uses that money cannon. Elon Musk basically used that money cannon for enriching himself and basically pumping up his already overinflated, overvalued stock price of Tesla, which is now, it's not a car company, it's actually a technology company, while simultaneously making himself seem like this like billionaire inventor guy when he's not, and not really doing anything that he's supposed to be doing, while shitting on fucking taxes as the wealthiest person on the planet. That is psychotic.
You know, he might be able to bring Twitter to the middle of the road, but what about the other stuff? What about Google? What about all that stuff?
Well, last night, Tucker made a point saying Elon Musk may have bought the largest share of Twitter, but he's also put a big old target on his back. And here's what Tucker said. Listen.
Let's be very clear. This is not a business transaction. It's much bigger than that. Elon Musk is a massive threat to the way things are. So, by definition, it will not be long before they are calling him a racist. You can mark your calendar. Tonight, there are Democratic operatives studying everything Elon Musk has ever said in public. They're preparing one of the nastiest campaigns of character assassination in memory. They have no choice but to do this. Restoring free speech to Twitter is the greatest possible threat to the people in charge. They have to control the information. If they don't, they fall.
It's a great point. It's not that Elon Musk is a conservative per se. It's that he's a free thinker.
Right.
And
First and foremost, in a normal world, you would recognize that a billionaire buying the quote-unquote public square would be seen as a fucking threat in the same exact way that Jeffrey Jebediah Bezos, my fucking Lord and Savior, that beautiful boss of mine, bought fucking Washington Post. That's a threat. That's literally a fucking threat. A billionaire purchasing a messaging software is a huge fucking issue. And every single one of these billionaires does this shit all the goddamn time. They have a profound amount of influence and power. But these goddamn idiotic Republicans that have no fucking, like, not a single fucking shred of dignity or critical thinking that they're engaging in are calling that into question. Yeah, dude, he's good because he is a conservative as a billionaire. That's why he's a good billionaire.
That's what used to be, Twitter used to be an open field of free thought.
Right.
And now the blue check marks like groupthink leftists police that thought, and the corporate types at Twitter have been happy to enforce it. They pushed off Donald Trump. They pushed off a lot of conservatives. If he were to open that up, it opens up the conversation in America. And even if you're not on Twitter, it means that conversation, at the very least, is more even-handed, which was the point to begin with.
Right. You know, there are a lot of observers in that space that say he's expected to use his block of shares to influence the company to a more open model with fewer content moderation measures. I think you, Pete, have been blocked by Twitter.
Yeah.
The former president of the United States, it looks like indefinitely blocked on Twitter. I think it was Kellyanne Conway. No, it was not. It was Monica Crowley.
Especially after how he saw the communication power of Starlink in Ukraine plus Twitter now. This is evil layer shit. I mean, I don't know how well Starlink worked. I thought it didn't work at all in Ukraine because it was like literally basically a fucking beacon to expose, locations to bomb. Am I wrong? That's what I originally thought, and people were saying, no, that's not true. But it did turn out to be a missile magnet, didn't it?
Yesterday, who wondered, she's a former Treasury official, friend of this show. She wondered if Elon Musk would help unfreeze Donald Trump's account, given the fact that if you really want all the opinions out there, she argues, you probably should let the former president come back to Twitter.
We'll see. We'll see. It's very exciting, though. for people who are sick of all the censorship.
You're right, but the left has determined that speech is violence. You know, that's their argument on so many.
Bro, who, like, oh man, I love hearing about the fucking, I love hearing about how the left declares speech being violence from a guy who literally fucking has an aneurysm when someone's like, hey, you know, happy holidays, instead of fucking Merry Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, loving Christmas. Oh my God, dude. Oh God, this conversation is so fucking stupid. If you cannot comprehend Elon Musk having a profound amount of power over, okay, after spending years and years and years talking about how Twitter is a fucking private company, but it's also the marketplace of ideas, or it's actually the town hall. It's actually the town hall. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You just literally are saying it's my guy in power, and that's why it's fine. And by the way, that is the honest American take on this issue. That is the honest American take on this issue, is that free speech only fucking matters as far as you can manipulate it for your side. That's it. That's why Nazis regularly talk about how much they love free speech, but like Nazis are not notorious for allowing free speech to happen. It's just that they are using it as an opportunity to, you know, gain as much power and as prominence as possible, right? Until they can actually say, fuck free speech. We're not doing that. That's precisely why if you're a revolutionary black organization or a leader of a revolutionary black organization, God forbid a communist one, right? Like a Maoist third worldist one or whatever, you get fucking executed. But if you're the Klan, you get police protection at your rallies. Free speech historically will routinely, almost exclusively protect white supremacists and racist motherfuckers in a white supremacist and racist country.
These things. So, what if he attempted to bring Donald Trump back, which he should? The target gets even bigger on his back.
But imagine you work at Twitter, right? And you're a super lefty, and you wake up and Elon Musk now owns 4 times more stock than Jack Dorsey, who started the company. And you think, oh, he's going to put
I'm sorry. Elon Musk actually founded Twitter alongside PayPal and alongside Tesla. By the very same logic, you are saying that he founded Tesla and founded PayPal. You know, purchasing stocks is enough to be a fucking co-founder, I think. So
it's more in the center. If you work at Twitter, what are you thinking today?
Well, it depends on, I guess, what your politics are.
You should be happy about it, but no, you're not.
Bro, I can't tell if she's literally this fucking stupid or if someone, unironically, one of the producers was like, I know you're actually a brilliant person, but you have to play the role for our audience. I think that they are telling her to play this role. This literally fucking, what's his face? Douche over here, douchey, says, what do you think super leftists think when they found out that Elon bought it? I'm soy facing. And then she's like, well, I guess it depends on their politics. You didn't say anything. You literally didn't say anything. You just repeated what he said. You didn't even repeat what he said. You just took politics, like one word, and repeated that word. Look at this.
What are you thinking today?
Well, it depends on, I guess, what your politics are.
It's so easy to be a conservative commentator. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You should be happy about it, but no, you're not.
I'm Steve Doocy.
They should be happy about it. Yeah, totally. Conservatives need you, Hasan. Be the better commentator, Lamau. Dude, I could fucking destroy it, dude. I would kill it so fucking hard as a conservative commentator. It is so easy. It is so profoundly easy to be a good conservative commentator, dude. Yeah, I'll talk about the BLM article, the BLM House article in a little bit. I'm just going to cover the other part about the Elon Musk thing was this one. Elon Musk got his wealth by being born into a family of apartheid South African emerald mine owners, scamming people with PayPal, and then the state for billions in subsidies, and is now using that wealth to buy shares in Twitter, all to make sure this won't ever happen again. This was Existential Comics who fucking posted, the government invested more money in Tesla and SpaceX than you by far. They have no voting shares because you sell off overinflated stocks to keep public from having a say in your publicly funded companies. Subsidies are a drop in the bucket. That article was pushed as propaganda to counter the IMF study showing fossil fuel subsidies to be $5 trillion a year. Even if the 4.9 billion was true, combined market cap of Tesla and SpaceX is 80 billion. Where did that 75 billion come from? Asshat. Jesus, dude, market cap isn't what was invested. You put in like 70 million of the money you got from ripping people off with PayPal. The government put in $500 million. If you allowed that money to be vested into shares, they would own part of that market cap. No use arguing with a chimp. You're blocked. Elon Musk was so butthurt about this existential comics tweet that he literally went back in 2021 to an argument from 2018 and he replied to it, okay? Where he said, combined Tesla plus SpaceX market cap is now over 1.2 trillion, which means 4.9 billion is less than 0.4% of combined company value. Elon Musk is also butthurt from the last time he was like the villain. I said he was like the villain from Atlas Shrugged. Then he went back and replied to a thread 3 years later. It just goes to show no matter how much you win at life, you can still be a loser in your heart. Is almost inspiring. For a detailed overview and deconstruction of Elon Musk's grift persona, from his family background to the lies about him being raised poor all the way up to Tesla and his reliance on state subsidies, see the clips and information in this thread.
Take a look at, say, computers, the internet. So you take a look at, say, computers, the internet, lasers, microelectronics, satellites, run through the whole gamut. Where'd they come from? They come mostly funded by the Pentagon at institutions like MIT. Taxpayers pay for it because the Russians are coming, so we have to pay for it. And the end result is, Bill Gates is the richest man in the world. Steve Jobs could set up Apple. The first computers that reached the market were 1977, Apple. That's about 30 years, after 30 years of development, mostly in the state sector. Now, that's where the risky, costly work is done. Walk around MIT today.
Only 3 certainties in life, or 4 actually. Death and taxes is not a complete list. Death, taxes, and squirrel posting about posting Noam Chomsky videos. These are the certainties in life. And of course, if you're asking what the 4th one is, it's the top of the hour. A lot of you fucking figured that out already. God damn it. Where there's a 60-second ad break. Oh, normal America things. Oh, yeah, we're going to do J.D. Vance in a second. Don't worry about that, baby. Oh, yeah, hillbilly elegy J.D. Vance. I love him. I love him. We're going to talk about the fucking CEOs that are freaking out. But before we do that, let's get back to our, life-saving, Tony Stark style, incredible billionaire who just bought Twitter, or at least bought the largest share of Twitter. And why Noam Chomsky despises people like him because of the lies that they tell about being self-developed millionaires, when in fact they are using government-funded technology, government-funded R&D, and government funds directly in the form of subsidies.
Walk around MIT today, you see Novartis, other pharmaceutical corporations ripping off, stealing the technology that's being developed in the state sector and using it for the profits of the future. That's the way the economy works. It's a very, if you read the newspapers, Financial Times, the German economic newspapers, they're constantly talking about free enterprise and markets and so on. I mean, there's some crucial facts about markets. I mean, you can like them or not, but there are some properties that they have. One property is that, say, if you invest in a risky enterprise and you invest for decade after decade, and risky and costly, and if after all of this there's some profit, it's supposed to go back to you. That's not the way the economy works. The taxpayer is extorted, essentially, to pay for the risky and costly developments, literally for decades, and doesn't get a penny back for it. The profits go to private enterprise. That's our free enterprise economy. And the Pentagon was a funnel.
Yup. And for Elon Musk to be what he claims, a real-life Tony Stark brain genius, he has to have been a self-made man, not a product of the corrupt plutocratic society's military-industrial complex, which was, as Chomsky notes, functions like a welfare program for the dull, talentless hacks like Musk.
And in fact, if you look at the welfare benefits that are disguised by fiscal measures,
like real estate taxes and corporate prerogatives that are untaxed and so on, it's enormous. They almost all go to the most wealthy sector, and I don't think...
What do I always fucking say? Well, one, I say top of the hour, every hour there's a 6-second ad break. But the other thing I always say, the motherfuckers who are like, oh, what Hasan, I don't need this government handout. I always say, hey, dumbass, you think wealthy people ever stop a government handout? They expect it. They are entitled. They feel entitled to the government handouts in the form of billions of dollars. Whereas you're like, oh, I don't know if I want this check, dude. It's like the most cucked attitude you could fucking have, dude. Holy shit. They literally changed the laws and the rules to ensure that they get more handouts. The job providers, dude. Holy fuck. And then you pay your taxes, and those taxes turn into those handouts, and then you get nothing in return. You then have to buy the product, give more money to the fucking company. You don't have any say on the matter. You have no say in what happens within that company. That is the story of Elon Musk. It's bullshit. And that's the story of the 1-minute ad break that's coming right now.
Anybody's, this is not the kind of thing that people study much. But the few attempts that have been made to evaluate it indicate that they probably exceed all of so-called welfare. And that's only the beginning. What about the Boeing Corporation again? These models for the future. Well, that's a huge welfare program. The payments, the taxes that your taxes that go to the Pentagon and NASA and DOE and the rest of them, that's an enormous welfare program, most of which gets funneled quite directly to advanced sectors of industry and to their investors and their owners. And the top managerial levels, and some of it trickles down to parts of the workforce. But primarily, if you look at the distribution of funds, it's a tremendous welfare program for the rich.
Yeah. And I just want to mention one more time, I don't even have a problem with the fucking welfare program for companies, okay? I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm an advocate for it. I'm in favor of it. It's just we should have some control in return, We never see that as an ROI. That's a given, That's actually companies can literally fucking design their improvements on shareholder value around the certainty that the government will have to defend them and the government will have to fucking bail them out in a situation that ultimately is funded by the taxpayers in its entirety. You're the internet-only profited corporate giants. You got your job thanks to U.S. military subsidies. I am completely aware of this. But you also have to recognize that, it's not created with the attitude of the R&D there that is required for many, many years, decades-long research is impossible to create with short-term profits in mind. Okay? Big leaps and fucking bounds. Big leaps and bounds made in technology only occur when you lose sight of the profit motive, when there are other circumstances incentivizing you. So that's something you have to fucking remember and remind yourself of, which is why I never say government subsidies are bad. Chatter just told you got your job on government subsidies as a diss, which is something that they learned on the stream. Do you get it? Do you understand? I don't have a problem with R&D being funded by the government. I'm literally a fucking socialist, dude. What the fuck do you mean? It's the whole point. I'm an advocate. Someone has to fund R&D. But what I simply state is what is fair. What I simply ask for is what is fucking fair and what is just and what is right. Which is that if we are paying for this shit with our tax dollars, we should at the very least have something in return for that investment. And not just the product that we have to pay for, but some kind of say. We shouldn't fund companies like SpaceX and Tesla. We should straight up nationalize them. I mean, yeah. Most advances come from colleges and research centers that migrate in the private sector to be capitalized on most of the time from the people that made, not from the time. Yeah, I mean, look at insulin, dude. Look at the patent for insulin. Oof. Companies must be profit maximizing in order to exist. That's natural, but they cannot violate human rights. And the fact that the state is trying to squeeze the maximum out of these companies and at the same time allows them to do evil is unthinkable. What do you mean it's unthinkable? You just described why they do it. And you also completely overlook the fact that like the entire capitalist form of governance is created to literally churn out that exact same result. It's not corporate capitalism. It's not corporatism. It's just capitalism. That's what capitalism is. It's just like, that's just how human beings operate. It just works with military contracts, good or bad. That tree. Yeah, dude, I know. I love when military contracts created penicillin. It was so sick. It's like, dude, it's not the only way to fucking build new technology. I hope you understand that. I know that you're Ameribrained and brain broken as a liberal, so you think that like the only way that we can have like something devoid of the immediate fucking profit incentive is like dumping $7 trillion fucking dollars into the military, okay? Or $1 gorillion of the fucking military. That's the only way that we can like have some level of like some level of technological achievements that is separated from the immediate profit motive. But you know, there are other ways. I'm just saying we could just do that and not for fucking murder machines. You might have referencing the fact that DARPA used to be ARPA, wasn't originally for defense. Anyway, so let's move to Tesla. Where does it get its funding from? Exactly as Chomsky noted, the vast majority of it comes from the state, even the initial investment. When this was pointed out to Elon Musk, he lost his shit and blocked the person who exposed his fake self-made man image. That exchange begins. By the way, once again, got to point this out. I don't have a problem with that. Don't have a problem with that. That's what the government's supposed to do. Just not for like one individual to fucking manipulate stock prices or have like this overinflated ego along with his overinflated stock prices that allows him to maintain the status of the wealthiest person on the fucking planet. That's what I'm angry about, especially when that person runs around, runs his fucking mouth and literally claims that like he did it on his own and fuck taxes. Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck taxes. You would not be alive if it wasn't for fucking taxes. Your companies would not exist. Anyway, it just makes me so mad. That exchange begins with a link to an article that's worth delving into. It details how Elon Musk is a pathetic grifter who sucks off the state's teat, intentionally using his fake image as a genius to scam the state out of billions of funding. He's the actual welfare queen. It gets worse. Tesla wouldn't exist without scamming the state out of billions in funding, but you would hope that they were running a profit, right? As Chomsky said, the state invests in tech, takes the risk, but hey, at least the corporations made profits, not Elon Musk. So he doesn't even make the fucking, you know, he's not even an enjoyer of profits in general. And that the only thing that is keeping this entire fucking con alive is the overinflated stock price of Tesla, which is not simply a car manufacturer. No, of course not. It's actually it's actually a tech company. That's why it needs to be valued with like a 10x marker next to it. That's why it has to go to the fucking moon. It doesn't matter if they're not profitable. It doesn't matter. Do you see why Elon Musk detests Chomsky so much? Why he can't stand the sight of him? He's been shitting on him for years while pretending he's a self-made man, a brain genius who took the risk and succeeded throughout sheer will. He proves free markets work, but it's all a grift. Reading Das Kapital when I was 14, including cross-checking English translation of original German. Adam Smith for the win, obviously. Wait, what? Adam Smith for the win? Adam Smith would have fucking despised these motherfuckers, dude. You know what's funny about all this shit? Like, they literally, did you not read Adam Smith either? Like, I don't understand. Ironically, future automation will naturally lead to greater quality of consumption. Monopolies are true enemy of the people. Competing to serve is good. Capitalism has some flaws, like when curing disease is not profitable enough because selling drugs makes more money. This is why it's critical to support competition. Excess profits draw on competitors who then drive down prices. Yeah, dude, that's right. The problem with capitalism is that we haven't capitalized enough. It's just, that's what the problem with capitalism is. It's actually less regulation. Yeah, it's so weird that like we keep doing less regulation and the consequences are incredibly damaging and it's right in front of our fucking eyes. But hey, you know what we need right now? You know how you would solve this? Even less regulation. Totally, dude. That's the problem. The government's the problem. He's just a fucking far-right freak. The idea that he's like some kind of socialist is mind-boggling to me. You think all companies are bad and all unions are good? That's a very bigoted position. Oh my God. By the way, I'm actually a socialist. Just not the kind that shifts resources from the most productive to the least productive, pretending to do good while actually causing harm. True socialism seeks greatest good for all. Elon Musk does not have a fucking fraction of the productivity in any part that the average worker has in its fucking thumb or pinky. Elon Musk is not a product of the survival of the fittest in a highly competitive market with a level playing field where individual merit and talent is rewarded, as neoclassical mainstream economists claim in their pristine abstract models that have nothing to do with reality. He comes from a family of apartheid South African emerald mine owners. His daddy gave him the millions he used to scam his way into Silicon Valley and pay PR firms to market himself as a genius while begging the state to fund his grift as he keeps failing upward. If market speculation wasn't a thing, he would literally serve zero purpose. Yeah. In short, Elon Musk is a living embodiment of just how depraved and corrupt our society is, which Chomsky had the gall to point out. And that is why Musk can't stand him, because Chomsky revealed the emperor, the real-life Tony Stark galaxy brain genius, to be naked. And see this piece for more on how Elon Musk exploits and abuses workers at Tesla. We've seen that. Anyway.
Worship.
Here. This is a better clarification on the fucking Adam Smith bullshit for the record here. No, my man said he loves Adam Smith.
Adam Smith is
doubt
very
it.
rarely read. He's worshipped, but not read. So, for example, everyone's heard of the
You love talking about Musk. Can we talk about Bezos in a second, my friend? We are going to talk about
phrase
it.
invisible hand, but almost no one knows how he used it. The term invisible hand actually does appear in his classic Wealth of Nations once. It appears in an argument against what's now called neoliberalism. What's now called neoclassical economics that we're supposed to worship. So we're supposed to worship Adam Smith and neoclassical economics, and they radically differ on the notion invisible hand. Adam Smith was concerned, as David Ricardo later was, that if there was free movement of capital, and
Neoliberals, neoclassical economists, liberals in general value private property and the defense of private property, and a government that literally is created and designed specifically to defend private property over anything else. The idea that they would be in favor of Adam Smith, or Adam Smith would be in favor of them, is hilarious considering his fucking attitude on landlords and his attitude on enclosures across the board.
And free import of goods. He was concerned about England. He said England will suffer because British capitalists will invest abroad and they'll import from abroad, and that'll harm the English economy. Ricardo had similar concerns. And Adam Smith then gave an argument. It was not a very good argument, but his argument was that English investors will prefer to invest in England because of what some called a home bias. They'll have a preference for investing close by, and therefore, as if by an invisible hand, England will be saved from the menace of free capital movement and of free imports. That's invisible hand. What's that got to do with the Cato Institute or the modern enthusiasm about free capital flow and having U.S. corporations invest in?
This is the most boomer stream ever. W. Yeah, this is big boomer W's today, dude. We have a lot of boomers on, and me, I'm the biggest boomer.
China, so they can send stuff back here to sell cheap, exploiting Chinese workers. That's not Adam Smith.
Chomsky sucks.